Hey, this is Frederick from Hammerfall, and you're watching CMS TV.
Well, let's do one more thing here, since we're talking about big bands doing big things. You're a big football guy. I'm sure you watched some of the NFL draft because I know you were watching it at the comedy show. You were keeping up with it anyway.
Trying to.
You saw Motley Crue showed up at the draft to play?
I heard that they did. I did not watch any of it.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Nikki Sixx's taped bass tracks.
Well, see, here, somebody posted this way early in the show, and I'm just now getting to it, but I had planned to get to, here it is. Potential for discussion. Here we go. It just occurred to me that Nikki Sixx and all probably rushed to the studio, got Bob Rock again, and are playing this NFL thing, all to use as leverage in court. I'm going to say this, Butch. I believe half of that statement.
Okay.
I don't believe the NFL part of it because the NFL books everything a year in advance.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't believe that they, and quite honestly, I don't believe Motley Crue is a big enough name for the NFL to say, hey, let's change everything we're doing for Motley fucking Crue to show up. I don't believe that.
No.
I very much believe that they are rushing into the studio to throw two songs out there to say, see, we got rid of Mick Mars and we were able to record something with the new guy just like that.
Yeah.
New energy, and the guy remembered his parts and blah, 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 blah. And these guys in Motley Crue seem to be such fucking scumbags that I'm not shocked at anything they do. Are you?
No, not at all. I mean, dude, I 100% believe Mick, and I think the rest of it is trash. You know, even the manager comes out, I'm not letting them talk about it so that Mick's name isn't dragged through the mud with the fans. It's like, no, like, it's all bullshit. Nobody believes you.
Yeah,
Mick has always been the only guy with credibility.
Yeah.
You know, like, Nikki is just a dick. Mm-hmm. You know, he calls Carmen a piece, I don't know how to pronounce it, but like,
it's a piece.
A washed up drummer. Yeah, Carmen a piece is washed up, you fucking idiot. Like, he's a legend. What is wrong with you? You're gonna insult a guy like that? That's the word you come up with is washed up?
Well, like, instead of his non-washed up singer Vince Neil.
Oh, dude.
Dr. Hee-Haw.
Dr. Hee-Haw. Yeah, no, I'm fully Team Mick. I don't believe anything coming out of Motley Crue's mouths. It's all bullshit.
Well, would you like to see some of this Motley live from the draft?
Motley, air quotes, live? Sure.
Yeah. The tape recorder was playing live at the draft.
Right.
Well, let's pull it up here. Here's Vince Neil. Look, there's Vince. Here we go. I don't even know where we're starting. We're just starting at the beginning.
Okay.
Here we go. Motley Crue live at the NFL draft. All right.
Oh, wait. Start it over. Start it over. Okay. Listen to the vocal, and then watch when he brings the mic up to his face. Unless I was just seeing things, I think the vocal started and then he brought the mic up.
All right, well, I'll go back even further. So
go to wherever you started from at the beginning.
Start at the very, very beginning. Here we go.
All right, right here.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I thought I didn't see it. I was wrong.
You know what? I think that is a track of him singing badly. He's moving the mic all around, and it's just staying the right volume.
It's not conclusive enough. It's not like, okay, it starts and then he pulls. For some reason, it flashed quickly. I thought that the track started, then he put the mic up to his mouth, but that didn't. But yeah, Sadly, this sounds better than a lot of videos I've seen of him.
Well, it does
which
sound
is not,
better. Why
it's not saying
it
it's good.
If they
Yeah.
pre-recorded it, that it would sound better. I honestly think that they pre-recorded this with this kind of vocal, but had him sing most of the words. That way,
That
he
would
doesn't
make
have to
sense.
sing. That way, he doesn't have to sing most of the words, but nobody could say it's just the studio track from "Girls, Girls, Girls," which would be blatantly obvious that it's not real.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've done that for years with the backing vocal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Tommy and Nikki, they just pull the straight track. But I mean, it's not. Yeah, dude, you're probably right because we've seen those other videos. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the one.
Well, you
where,
see
where
him
the
every
guy,
time he goes out solo. When he goes out solo and he can't afford the backing track guy, then it sounds like ass. Then it's cocaine, wild side.
It's like I'm sure you've seen the ham hit a dog video, with the words up on the screen. Have you seen
Right.
that?
Yeah.
And every time he gets to it's kickstart my heart, it's a wah! It's like the karate guy on the screen. Like, that is one of the best videos ever. All right,
Let's watch a little more of this guy.
Was there any male vocal in that?
No.
Oh, hello.
What are we doing here? All right, the girl's hot.
Yeah, it's like.
You'd think that the NFL would not want him singing the word rape with all the rapists in their league.
It's like
Wouldn't you think that?
Roger Goodell's backstage going, man, I did not think this one through.
Yeah, he's letting him go with no escape, murder, rape. It's like, what do you think goes on in your league every offseason, dude? There is no escape from the murder or the rape.
Yeah,
The NFL's on the wild side. He beat his wife with a knife.
Yeah.
Slit her throat on the wild side.
I keep watching this and I'm thinking to the lawsuit and them saying that Nikki Sixx's bass is on a track and I'm going, dude, that guy plays nothing but root notes. What
I
needs
could
to
play
be
that.
taped? Yeah.
I could go doom 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 doom
Yeah,
doom doom.
what needs to be taped?
I made this point on the CMS one night, and I don't know if it's real or not, but the only reason that you would have Nikki do his tracks is Nikki, not seemingly here, but in a lot of shows over the years, he used to kind of roll around on the stage and like fall down and dive down steps and shit.
Yeah.
As part of his act, was acting all crazy. And maybe they just recorded the tracks because when he's doing all that shit, he's not playing. He's rolling around on the floor. And they don't want the songs to sound shitty.
Well, that's definitely probably what it is. I mean, I play bass, and I can tell you that if you're rolling around, it's next to impossible to keep the guitar level so that the note is ringing.
Yeah.
And to play bass and you're rolling around, like it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm just scrolling at random to a new spot.
That's fine.
I don't know where we're going to, but let's see. It's obviously Nikki playing. At least they want us to believe that.
Obviously, yeah.
Playing his
'Cause he has a
NFL
guitar
bass.
on.
He has his NFL bass ready to rock.
Ugh.
All right, here we go. Oh. Whatever. I'm gonna take back. I think they might be playing live here for the lawsuit.
Dude, I would not put that past them.
To just,
I would not put it past them.
because obviously John 5 can play the parts fucking blindfolded.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is definitely the money gig for this guy. This is John 5 cashing out.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's obviously what this is. So it's these other guys. I'm thinking they might actually be playing live so that they can say, well, here's an affidavit from one of the biggest companies in the world, the NFL, saying that we played live for 40 minutes on their big concert.
Do you really think that's going to get him off the hook, though? I mean, if you say, okay, well, here's one concert, whereas, let's say, Mick Mars has umpteen witnesses that can say, okay.
But what proof does Mick have? That's the real question. I mean, it seems like all of the guys that were in the Motley camp have all kind of shit on him and just said, well, here's signed affidavits from 10 sound guys that he doesn't know Home Sweet Home anymore. You know, they all said he doesn't remember the songs, that he forgets what songs he's playing and all kinds of shit.
Can we address that for a second?
Sure.
Why am I supposed to take the word of, let's be fucking on, a fucking lackey? Some dude, and how many times have we heard from these like professional roadies lately that, you know, they have to go back to regular jobs. There's not enough tours for them. It's impossible to get another gig. I'm Facebook friends with Eddie Van Halen's guitar tech. And he's Facebook friends with a lot of people, so I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm Facebook friends with this guy, but his name is Tom Weber.
Okay.
And he friend requests people like a normal dude, and he posts videos of setting up guitars or anything, but he was with Eddie for years. And this guy is always posting about how, you know, he can't, like, he just had another tour bail on him. Like he was all set to go out on the road, and then the tour canceled.
Right.
So he lost another gig. So I'm supposed to believe that these guys working for Motley, where their whole livelihood is this gigantic fucking tour, that they're going to come out and go, oh, yeah, Mick's right, dude. Because they're going to go, fuck you, you're fired. Well, you know, they're telling them, like, get on board or you're fired. I mean...
Yeah. And even on the bigger picture, I'm going to believe the guy that never really was in any trouble, or I'm going to believe the guy that killed someone, the fucking guy that beat his wife and did jail time, and the junkie.
Yeah.
Those are my options. I can believe those three, and not the one that really never was a TMZ bound guy.
Yep.
Or I can believe these roadies that God knows if they're not doing this, they're fucking, you know, they're taping down mats for the Black Crows somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, what do you think? What do you think you're going to believe here?
Yeah, they're not going to speak out against their employer.
No, of course not.
So to say, "Oh, I've got proof," like, okay.
Especially when it's one of the biggest jobs in their field at this time. Mm-hmm. You know, being on as much as I hate it, being a roadie for Motley Crue is probably one of the top 5, you know, roadie jobs in the world right now.
Well, it's a stadium gig, and the amount of work, you're not just on like a regular stage. I mean, the work to set a stage setup like this, to set that all up and make it go is a bitch, much less having to do it up against another stage crew, you know, the size of Def Leppard. I mean, you've got like huge production going on. That's paying for these guys. It's a cash cow. So yeah, they're not gonna, you know. Right. Jimmy, yeah. I don't know about since 1985, but I mean, Chris might agree, but
I liked Theater of Pain personally.
Yeah, well, you and I always have the argument about girls versus
Girls is just garbage.
And it's the one I like, so.
Ugh. It's when they even acknowledged that they couldn't fucking record. They acknowledged that they just parted that piece of shit together.
Right.
And Nona, I'm out of my head without you.
Couldn't go to your grandmother's funeral, but you could sit there and write 45 paltry, lackluster seconds of music about her.
And then wasn't "Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away" on that, or was that?
No, that was
Feel Good.
it was Feel Good.
Feel Good. What was the ballad? No, what was? Oh no, they had the worst version of that on Girls, Girls, Girls. They had "You're All I Need."
Yeah,
when I need you to die or whatever. Ugh,
yeah,
terrible song.
What was the great lyric? Like, I thought you were napping.
but I wished you were dead.
Yeah.
Awful.
He kills her and he's like, I thought you were napping. Like, oh no. Oh, that is so terrible.
I just wish somebody wouldn't have found Nikki for another 10 minutes.
Right.
Fucker would have just died.
Yeah. No, and back to your original point, like, yeah, they might be playing live. But I gotta say, I love John Five. He's a phenomenal player.
It's great.
But he is really boring to watch. I've never seen him live
that's
before.
the whole thing. Is he was boring to watch in Manson and in Zombie. He's amazing. He's about as good. He's probably as good as anybody out there. If he was just doing instrumental albums, you would definitely consider him in the same world as Vi and Eric Johnson and Satch and those guys. I mean, he's that quality of a player. But man, oh man, he picks some bands to just go through the motions with.
Yeah.
Has he ever been in a band that challenged him as a guitar player?
Well, okay, so you might laugh at this, but the guy has had a run of amazing guitar players. He did a lot with David Lee Roth.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I don't know how much live stuff he did with him to have to recreate the Vi parts and stuff like that. But I mean, he wrote some stuff with him, and he did that DLR band thing, and I think
was that She's My Machine? Was that DLR?
Whatever it is. It's the like the red, white, and blue flag cover, like just called DLR band. Yeah, and then all that new stuff that Dave's been putting out, like that acousticy, folksy shit.
Yeah, boy, that's selling me.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I do really like that Somewhere Over the Rainbow Bar and Grill song, and the rest of them I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
but
junk.
So
let's hear some more Motley.
All right,
here we go. Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh, so they put Tommy in the middle of the fountain.
That's great. I'm going to say this for Vince. This is more words than I've heard in the past 3 shows that I've seen him perform.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And he actually lost a lot of the weight.
Well, he cheated on that. Fucking, you make $50 million, you can get some of it sliced right out.
Well, hey, he did it. So at least,
and he was doing something with some kind of machine. I got to get one of these things. You run it for like 20 minutes on your stomach, and it's the equivalent of like 10 million sit-ups or something.
Does that shit actually work?
There's your proof.
Wow. Okay.
There's Vince Neil. He lost. I mean, it looks like he lost seriously about 75 pounds.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
He lost a lot of weight, and good for him. Hey, I don't have a whole lot bad to say about him. He's been nice to me when I've met him. I know stories about him being a douche, from killing Razzle to not being willing to sign shit for the Skylar Neal fucking foundation for auctions, for auctions for his daughter's charity.
It's his own charity. How are you not signing shit for your own charity?
He couldn't be bothered.
Oh God. He
literally handed it to a tour manager who went on the bus, signed it himself, and brought it back out. Allegedly. Not that I saw it happen.
So diplomatic.
Yeah. Piece of shit. All right, here we go. Here's John 5. Let's see what he's doing. Nothing.
Oh. Almost didn't get that microphone.
Right.
Now that one, I think she was lip syncing.
Yeah. Well, not only that, you notice how they're not really showing Vince when he's singing.
Well, dude, I think you're right about the live thing, because he's not moving almost at all.
so that you can get the words out.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the last time I saw them was when they played with Kiss.
Yeah.
And it was the show. He broke his foot like the second song of the night, and he was basically standing in one spot after that. And I thought he sounded good, and I was laughing because I'm like, he sounds good because he's not moving.
Yeah,
he just all he has to do is sing. He can't like jump around and do all of that crap. So now he actually sounds like he's worth a damn.
Maybe they could just put him in the Phil Collins chair.
The Axl Rose throne with AC/DC.
The Axl Rose throne or the Dave Grohl throne. Maybe that's around somewhere. Just have him sit there and sing these songs. I'll be honest. I'm always, man. I mean, we've done this a million times on the CMS. I'm always against the chair shows. I wouldn't be against the chair show with him. I would be okay with him. With him, he stinks when he runs around the stage.
Yeah.
He's terrible. He's he sounds so bad. If he was in a chair and he sounded like sounds just on this show, I'd be okay with it. But I still wouldn't be okay with it to $1,000 a ticket or whatever this fucking show costs.
It's exorbitant. It's exorbitant. I'm sorry, like Poison is the best band on that bill, by far, at least performance wise.
Yeah, now they're retired again, so the Brett could do the party gras. It was funny. We had Pete Evick on here, me and Eric, right at some point, and I didn't mean to. Eric brought it up about how Brett had been such a dick to me, and Pete was like, "Oh, he must have been having a bad day." I was like, "Yeah, those 3 or 4 times."
Right. Yeah, I just remember seeing his contract for the after party.
Yeah.
I forget if it was one of his solo shows or if it was a Poison gig, but it was at some club in Akron, and a coworker of mine, her uncle ran the bar where it was happening.
Yeah.
And he was getting $10,000 to show up for 60 minutes.
Sure.
And the amount of like caveats in this goddamn contract to where he could get out of it and still get paid.
Yeah.
It was like pages and pages. If
he stubs his toe walking into the building, he can leave.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like he could literally walk in and walk out within like 30 seconds and still get 10 grand and not have to do anything. The guy was such a prick about it.
Yeah, he's a dick. Allegedly.
Well,
he's been a dick to me. Not allegedly. He's been a dick to me.
Yeah. Well, and I've told the story on the CMS before about that stupid time when we went backstage when they were playing with Enough's Enough.
Yeah.
And they had the Ricky Rocket fan club and the CC DeVille fan club and the Bret Michaels fan club. And it was just the douchiest thing you could ever imagine.
Was that the night that I got into it with Big John, right? That I was yelling at Big John because Vince or Brett wasn't going to sign all the MMS people's stuff. He met some chick that he was going to bang, and he wanted to leave. And and Big John came over and said, "Oh, sorry guys, Brett's leaving. He's tired or something." And I was all drunk, and I started screaming at him, "You motherfucker! You better sign these fucking." I started screaming at Brett, and Big John was trying to get me to be quiet. I was like, "You may fucking beat my ass, but you'll remember it, motherfucker." I went all fucking angry Aiken on his ass.
Angry Aiken, yep.
I really did. And then Brett was like, "Fine, I'll fucking sign this shit." And he sat back down and he wouldn't take one picture, and he didn't even look up at anybody. He just got their shit handed to him, signed it, and pushed it along. Total doucher.
These guys with these egos like that, like, is it really that goddamn difficult? Like, you don't have a real job, asshole. Like, what is it to you if you have to just pull out a Sharpie for an hour? Like, who gives a shit?
Is that girl that's going to suck your dick not going to wait 15 more minutes? She's been waiting all night. She'll wait 15 more. Sign the fucking autographs that made you the guy that gets the 9 ready to suck your dick.
Yeah.
Just stop it, you asshole.
Right. I will never understand that, dude.
No.
I can't wrap my head around that sort of belief system. Can't do it.
He is what he is, but here's a quick question and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Jim would go see Ozzy in a chair.
Not for any amount of money.
I don't know that I would go see Ozzy again healthy.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, a chair will not help him. His voice is so beyond shot anymore. I mean, there's tuning down, and then there's basically having to use a 7-string and tune that down for him to hit the notes. Like
he's got a 7-string. The strings are falling off.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
pumped.
Yep. Yeah, I really want to know how bad his marriage is behind the scenes and how much money he has to keep funneling to Sharon, because that guy has an ego, and I can't imagine that he wants to go out there like that.
No, it's pretty.
It's embarrassing.
Pretty sad. Although, from what I've heard is that Whit Crane is singing behind the curtain for the last few Ozzy tours. So,
no,
that's what I've heard. Now, Bandian told me that.
How
that for the last few tours, Whitfield Crane was at the gig singing behind the curtain.
Like the leads?
Yeah. And if he sounded close and they triple track it as they do with all Ozzy vocals, you could get away with that.
Man, that just blows my mind.
Yeah, well.
Now I'm going to be listening to these damn videos being like, is that the guy from Ugly Kid Joe? Man.
Maybe that's why I couldn't get Whit on for an interview. I had to have Klaus Eichstad instead. Because they didn't want me to ask that question. They probably heard me sing on here. Didn't want me to ask Whit if he sang as Ozzy.
So Whitfield, you could feel free to say no to this, but I've heard that all of a sudden he drops out of the interview like,
hey,
here's
Whit,
the word
no
Ozzy.
Pressure. No pressure, but would you do the chorus to No More Tears for me? And go.
He gives it away by singing it like, no more tears.
See, look, somebody else checking in here. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard this rumor as well. Robert Mason was doing it before Whitfield. I've heard that too.
But so these guys are like, they got to be damn good because they're sounding like shitty Ozzy. It's not like good Ozzy, like, oh, Ozzy still got it. Like, no, you're just like, oh, God, what is this?
Yeah, but they don't have to. Again, maybe that's why they didn't sound exactly like Ozzy. Because they weren't.
Well, maybe it's Ozzy to a track, and then they sing along with that track while Ozzy's lip-syncing to himself.
It could be, or it could be Ozzy as the third track. They triple-track his voice. They've always triple-tracked his voice. So maybe it's Ozzy, Robert Mason, and a backing track.
He's got a whole choir back there just doing this. It's like the three tenors backstage.
That's right.
With Ozzy on stage croaking like a frog.
With him and jumping like one too, because he used to do that. Remember that bullshit where he'd jump around like a stupid frog? Oh.
Yep.
His shows sucked. He has been bad for a lot of years. I'm sorry. I love Ozzy. I loved him in Black Sabbath. Let me put it that way. I loved him in Black Sabbath. Never was the biggest, hugest fan of solo. I loved No More Tears. I thought that was a great album. But the rest of the albums were just kind of okay for me. They're some are better, some are worse. But yeah, seeing them a bunch of times, and I saw some really lousy shows. That fucking tour with Korn and Deftones. Oh,
what record was that for?
96 Osmosis.
Yeah, okay.
The best part of that was me and Neely, I think, were actually sitting on the side of the stage for that show, on Zach's side of the stage, and some dude like got down somehow, and there was like a rope ladder to climb up onto the stage on the side. This guy started climbing up the rope ladder, and he was just standing there. Zach came over and just put a boot right in his fucking face and knocked him off the fucking rope ladder. Boom! It was one of the funniest things. We were just watching this guy climb up. Zach came right over there, pop right in the fucking head. This guy, whoa!
Oh yeah,
it was the best part of the show, quite honestly, because Deftones were terrible, and Korn was. Yeah, to me, they were always hit or miss live, and this was definitely one of their missed ones where they didn't have much sound, and they didn't have a whole lot of bass in the sound. And it was like, all right,
Korn. You have to have low end to get the Korn.
Yeah, well, they had no end. It was the
only time I ever saw Ozzy was one of the Ozfests. It was Pantera and I want to say Godsmack. Like it was when they had that huge dirt fight where it was like just basically a dome of flying dirt.
Yeah, Disturbed was at that. And BLS. That was the one with where me and Zach Wilde walked out into the crowd and just watched Slipknot play.
Okay. Yeah, that was
the same show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Joe Holmes on guitar, so I wasn't too thrilled. I was like, damn it, I don't get Zach Wilde. Like, you know.
No, Zach was on that tour. Oh no, he was doing BLS. He
was doing Black Label. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't doing Ozzy at the time.
Only. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. But all right, let's get the fuck out of here. We gave him 15 whopping minutes more than we were supposed to. Let's real quick thank our new friend Drew Elliott from Seven Stones for coming on. That was a lot of fun. He's seems like a good dude. New album, let me pull it up again. It's called Hurt Turns into Hate. It is out now. Go get it. You can listen to it on Spotify only if you buy something. So buy something at sevenstonesofficial.com. It's definitely worth it. It's a good record. You will dig it. Eric will be back next week. He'll have, I'm sure, some stories from the Monsters of Rock cruise. He texted me earlier today, said he was on his way out to go see Tesla play. So, and apparently they've had big storms on they canceled one of the nights, like the outside nights, because they had like a huge storm, and I guess the sea's been choppy and everything else. So, sounds like the fucking Poseidon Adventure to me.
Screw that. I will not go on a cruise, man. It's a point of contention with me and Steph. Me and the wife argue about that. I'm like, I'm not getting on one of those goddamn boats. I've seen Titanic.
Dude, I was watching, Piercy himself posted some video up, and it was just solid black clouds over the water with lightning hitting the water. And I was like, fuck that. And there ain't nowhere you can go.
Yep.
That's where you are.
Yep. That's why I won't do it. That's why I won't do it. Like, nope, no way. No fucking way.
Steven's posting said something like, little bit windy tonight or something.
Nice.
Meanwhile, it's lightning hitting the fucking ocean.
Right.
Well, look at it. You get a compliment. I must have sucked tonight, but you kicked ass, so good for you. There you go.
Thanks a lot, Buzzing Friends. Appreciate it, man.
There you go. We will be back next week. John, this has been fun, as it always is. Tell people about Talking Into Infinity real quick so that they could tune into that, or the Nerve Herder, or all that shit.
Yep. Well, obviously, there's the Nerf Herder Council. It's my nerd podcast. We do that every other Wednesday. It'll be next week, and that's at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook and YouTube pages. It's all kinds of nerdiness, usually Star Wars related. And my show on the CMS network is Talking Into Infinity. It's a Dream Theater-centric podcast. We don't do strictly Dream Theater. This week we'll be broadcasting this Thursday. We do every other Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's at talkingintoinfinity.com, thecmsnetwork.com, and our Facebook and YouTube pages. And this week is a Dream Theater show. We are going to be doing a deep dive into what is actually my least favorite Dream Theater album, that being the self-titled record. Okay. So we're doing that this week, so go check that out. We are up to close to 60 episodes. You can find all those on our YouTube channel, or just go to Anchor or any of those fine podcast sites if you want to hear the audio version. So yeah, check it out. It's Talking Into Infinity, man. I think you guys will dig it.
All right. You guys know where I'll be. I'll be here. I'll be there. I'll be every fucking where. I'll be on CMS on Saturday. You all know that. And I'll be back next Monday with this. And God, that's it for this week. I don't have to do a To Me session, so. That's
like a vacation.
Wow, I'm on. This is it's like a week off. I only have 2 shows this week. So, all good, but thanks as always for watching, listening, subscribing, do all that bullshit. And for Chris Akin Presents, I have been Chris Akin.
I have been Jon Drake.
And we both are no longer here. See ya.